What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down The Flash Season 7, Episode 16. But of course, before we get started, make sure that you guys like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment any other video suggestions for me. So the episode starts off with Barry watching the news about the Speedster War happening, but then we find out that he was only dreaming again as we also see Nora West Allen appear for the second time. Obviously, if you guys remember last episode, the first scene, she also appeared in a dream of Barry's. Anyways, Nora says to Barry that there is something wrong with the West Allen family and that Barry has to do something about it fast before it's too late. So then the Godspeed War escalates as Barry fought some of them and ended up getting very badly injured. We also see where Joe and Kramer's car exploded at the end of last episode, and we find out that they obviously survived the explosion. So then Barry tells Caitlin about his dream about Nora, and he starts to make the connection of Godspeed and Nora being from the same time and how their Nora may not exist anymore. But then Diggle arrives right at that moment with a weapon that he says can help stop the Godspeed War. So Diggle's weapon is something that can trap Godspeed, or one of the Godspeeds I should say, as he says that the weapon can basically freeze time, therefore trapping anything with super speed, that being Godspeed. But then it seems like Diggle gets like some sort of headache, and at this time I thought it might have had something to do with like the Green Lantern ring or something like that. Alright guys, I just want to quickly rant. I just want to say how like bad Allegra's character has been. It seems every scene with her or Ultraviolet is just pointless. In my opinion, there is absolutely no need for a storyline with her and Ultraviolet. I just really don't see the point in that whatsoever. So then Barry attempts to trap one of the Godspeeds with Diggle's device and with the sound that he used in last episode to basically irritate the Godspeeds. So he captures one of the Godspeeds as he, succeeded with the device, and it looked like one of the Godspeeds, was frozen in the air. It looked pretty cool. So then Barry tries to talk to the Godspeed clone that he and Diggle captured, and Godspeed, speaks right back to him in English, which is pretty interesting. And this is when I thought initially that this might be the real Godspeed that they captured, as obviously the other Godspeeds, weren't able to speak English back to Barry. But then we find out that this Godspeed is better than the ones that Barry fought in last episode. And what I mean by better is he was one of the Godspeeds that saved Barry from all the other Godspeeds. As that Godspeed they captured says that August Heart is in Barry's time. So obviously this Godspeed is not the real one. The one they captured is not the real one. And what's basically happening here is all of these Godspeeds around Central City are looking for August Heart. And the set of Godspeeds who, find him first basically win the war. But the Godspeed wants to kill August Heart, and Barry says he will not be an ally with the Godspeed they captured and will not kill August Heart. So then that Godspeed gets really mad and escapes the pipeline as he taps into his speed. Then Barry finds out that the Godspeed was basically interrogating him the whole time as Barry yells at Chester, and you can tell that he is very, very mad. But then Diggle and Barry are talking, and Barry says that he's worried about his daughter more than anything, and if she still exists and all that stuff. And Diggle sort of convinces Barry to time travel to 2049 to see if Nora is actually all right. After Diggle basically gives him a lecture about, family is more important than anything. And after this scene, I was sort of thinking that, this was supposed to set up the 150th episode, as obviously that is next week's episode. Then we see Nora's journal, and we see Nora has basically been keeping tabs on August Heart in the future, trying to stop him. But then Diggle gets another one of those headaches, and Cecile tries to, read his mind to find out what's going on, and she also gets a headache. Again, here I was, starting to think that this has to have something to do with the Green Lantern ring. A theory I had while I was watching this was, like, the ring was calling to him or something like that. I definitely think that's possible. So then Barry tries to time travel to 2049 to see if Nora's alright, but then the Godspeed stop him as he is in the Speed Force. Then he gets thrown out of the Speed Force, and he unexpectedly sees Dion, who tells him that there was a lot to talk about what's going on. Then we find out that those Godspeeds in the Speed Force were basically using this Speed Force's energy to recharge themselves. But then we see Iris with Dion, as Dion is basically protecting Iris. As we find out, she's phasing in and out of the timeline. So that's what Nora was warning Barry about in the opening scene when she said their family is in danger. Then we see Diggle fighting one of the Godspeeds as he hits them with nanites, but then Diggle has another headache and falls to the ground. That's why Diggle was able to, fight one of the Godspeeds in the trailer without the Godspeed absolutely destroying him with his speed, is because he hits him with nanites. So then Cecile, Diggle, and Frost find August Hart in front of a building that is basically important to him in the future. He looked a lot less like a villain. He looked like an innocent man here, not like a villainous evil Godspeed that will kill you. But then we find out August Hart basically lost his memory as he only has feelings of things personal to him in the future. So if he lost his memory, how exactly did he get back in time? Maybe when he time traveled back, he somehow lost his memory. Something like that could have definitely happened. Team Flash agrees to try and bring back August Hart's memories, but then we see Diggle's Green Lantern storyline basically starting as he says that he has to deal with what's going on as he leaves Star Labs, and we also see a flashback of him finding the Green Lantern ring. My prediction is that the Green Lantern storyline will basically go in full effect in next season of The Flash, sometime in those first 5 episodes when we basically have a little bit of a crossover with the heroes. So Caitlin injects something into August Hart that's supposed to bring August Hart's memories back, and he's only able to remember his name, so it didn't fully work. But then Nora actually appears, and this time it's not from a dream. And she says, we're both okay. And Barry thinks, maybe she's talking about Nora and Iris are both okay. But then she says, Barry, meet your son Bart, as we finally see for the first time Bart Allen on the Flash TV show. This was an amazing scene, and this episode was probably one of the best of the season, maybe even the best. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on the episode. What did you guys think of it? I thought it was definitely a 10 out of 10. What an episode. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.